How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. So, Yankees beat the absolute brakes off the Royals. Well, 3-game win streak right now. Play the damn song. As you guys know if you follow us on social media, the song is gorgeous, beautiful, majestic after every single win. And, the Yankees playing well, 10 runs yesterday. Obviously, the entire offense, except for one player who we're going to discuss in this episode, was absolutely on fire. Everyone got a hit. Everyone contributed. Everyone made an impact. Obviously, Judge and, Stanton, they hit over like 1,000 feet in home runs yesterday. So it was pretty nice win for the Yankees. Just absolutely dominated them. Today we have a bullpen game for the Kansas City Royals and Cody Poteet on the mound for us. And my friends, I don't think that the Royals want any more of this fist, man. It is going to be bad for them with a bullpen game against this team. They used a good portion of their bullpen last night just trying to survive. They're going to have to basically run anybody out there and just say, yeah, like even if you're getting the crap beaten out of you, you're going to have to just stick in there. So if you're a sports bettor, follow us on Fireside Bets. We have some nice parlays dropping later for this Yankee game. But today we're talking about Anthony Rizzo. And Rizzo, my friends, was not only bad yesterday, but he's having one of the worst seasons of his career. I'd argue the worst season of his career. What he's done this year has been nothing of what we expected. It's rising. It's getting to a point where we have to consider alternative options. Are there solutions out there? We're going to discuss some options. I know Ryan made a video yesterday on 5 players that the Yankees could target at the trade deadline. So, we'll discuss really third and first base options because DJ LeMahieu could end up playing first. Rizzo's lack of offensive production has been, it's obvious. He's really had a career low in most categories. So, Ryan, before we dive into Rizzo, his struggles, what the options might be in terms of supplementing that kind of deficiency. How you do today, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. Look, the Yankees are a really, really damn good ball club. This is a special team. This is a team that I think can do a lot of things. In the postseason, when the time matters, when the pitching gets good, when the situations call for it, I think this team will play some really good baseball. But I think one of the players that won't be on that team is Anthony Rizzo because he is unequivocally, and I mean this unequivocally, he is just not good. Like he is just so unbelievably bad. I don't even want to sit here and try to make it I usually try to provide context. I feel like when we were talking about Stanton, for example, I think I tried to just kind of be a more of a fence sitter, give him the benefit of the doubt of I know that, in a week his numbers could be like a 130 WRC plus. What is there for Rizzo, right? What is there for him? He has a 79 WRC plus. He has a 332 slugging percentage. He doesn't barrel the baseball. He doesn't work walks. He makes bad swing decisions. He plays league average defense at first base. Alex, I don't really understand what the benefit is to playing him anymore. I'm going to that point of I'd rather see any I don't know. You could take your pick from the bench players. I'll take them. I'll take any of these bench players. You want to say, I don't know you want to say Jahmai Jones, but you want to say Jahmai Jones? Sure, right? You want to say Oswaldo Cabrera? At this point, yeah, Oswaldo Cabrera has significantly better numbers than Anthony Rizzo at the plate. That's concerning. That's really concerning because Oswaldo Cabrera is not somebody I think you and I would consider a good hitter. He has an 82 WRC plus. You should not be worse than Oswaldo Cabrera at offense. Rizzo is just, there's no positive signs, right? There's none. You have a stud first baseman playing for you in AAA and Ben Rice, who's just balling out. I think he has the highest projected WRC plus for any player who's yet to make their major league debut as of right now. I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm not saying the Yankees should force themselves to call up a rookie. I'm just saying whether it's, whether you want to make the argument you shouldn't call up a rookie because it could hurt their confidence and, you want to make sure you get an MLB ready option at deadline, totally fine. I agree. I think the Yankees should focus on MLB caliber talent in this kind of window. But if you want to argue that it's got to be that, then I don't know. Rizzo should be playing every day. I don't get it. He's not good. He's so clearly bad. They have to replace him. I think there are going to be options. I'll take a mediocre option over Anthony Rizzo at this point. Even if it's a marginal improvement, you need to get better. Missing with the clubhouse stuff, missing with the Anthony Rizzo is good for the leadership vibes. He's Aaron Judge's buddy. These are 30-year-old men. These are adults. These are grown people. These are people who understand it's a business, right? You think they're going to go, nope, I don't want to win the World Series because I want to go play with my buddy at first base and get knocked out by the Orioles or get knocked out by, respectfully, all due respect to the rest of the American League. We would dog walk anyone outside of the Orioles. You want to lose in the World Series? You want to lose in the LCS again? Sure, if that's what you want to do. But the Yankees want to win a World Series. And if they want to do that, Rizzo, what else is he even to say, Alex? He's just not good anymore.
Not good anymore is kind of understating it. I mean, his slugging metrics, career lows in hard hit rate, career lows in average exit velocity, career lows in barrel percentage. The guy has a 9th percentile bat speed. He's cooked. I hate to say it. Rizzo's a good dude, great clubhouse guy. Made several nice defensive plays last night. And if his defense is good, obviously that's an attribute that we love to have on that side of the ball. But the offense during the postseason is what I'm most concerned about. You know, if he doesn't turn things around and you get to the playoffs and he can't get a hit off Brady Singer, who then the Yankees are absolutely pummeling, and he's struggling against Anderson, and he's struggling against guys that shouldn't even be, in the MLB. There's a legitimate conversation to have, like, okay, what is he going to do against some of the better pitchers in baseball? What is he going to do against these all-star caliber pitchers? The Yankees have like 4 of them, but you know what I mean? It's like, you kind of look at other teams, you're like, all right, we're going to have to take on, maybe the Guardians. We'll have to take on some good teams. Like, is he going to be able to hit off BB? It was a high strikeout guy. Like, are you going to be able to kind of take down some of these better pitchers? And is Anthony Rizzo capable of producing? And if he's batting 5th or 6th, you really need to be asking yourself, is he going to be a detriment to this team when it matters most? And guys, we talk about his offensive numbers looking really bad. You want to know what his numbers are with with runners in scoring position. I mean, Ryan, this alone is worthy of being benched. With runners in scoring position, Rizzo's hitting 211 with a 246 OBP and a 368 slugging rate. Guys, you can't survive this, man. Gleyber Torres is looking a lot better. He's starting to hit the ball. Verdugo's been excellent. Even Oswaldo Cabrera had some action last night. Wells had a 3-run bomb last night. Everyone's contributing but him. Is it a confidence thing? He looks like he's in his own head. He doesn't look like he's confident. Even stuff inside. That's where Rizzo's really been his best. Inside pitches, he's been able to pull them to right field. It just hasn't been there. He hasn't been able to do it. Judge hits an absolute bomb. Stanton hits a bomb. And then Rizzo hits a tapper 2 inches in front of home plate the next at bat. You know what I mean? You just can't survive it. In the playoffs, when you need guys to come through, you can't have your 5 and 6 hitter or wherever he's batting be an automatic out. It's going to kill you. It's going to be the difference between winning and losing. So, Ryan, with that being said, is there anyone you're looking at to say, okay, you know what, I think this could be a good solution at the deadline? Maybe this is a player that we could look to acquire. I know you're kind of the idea of this is the team. Like, this is the team to win a chip. Is this the team that you risk it all on? Do you trade some prospects, trade some pitchers, whatever it might be, to reinforce an infield that could use that little bit of an extra boost to really actually reach and maybe win a World Series this year?
Yeah, so, my first thought is, Christian Walker. I mean, the Diamondbacks, the issue with them is the National League is so bad, even though the Diamondbacks are probably not good, right? Like, I would imagine they're not a very good team. They are going to be right in it, right? Like, they're going to be right in the playoff race. They have a very light schedule. They play like the Angels and the White Sox and like the Cardinals coming up, and they're gonna beat the crap out of those teams because they're just awful. They're terrible, right? So, I'm rooting for them to fall out of the race, but I don't know if that'll happen. If they do, I mean, come on. Christian Walker would just be a special addition for this ball club. I talked about that a little bit yesterday. Giants, same situation. They're 2 games under. They should not be in the playoff race, but they are because the NL stinks. Lamont Wade Jr. would be a great pickup if they were to fall out of the race, but again, they kind of have a little bit of a light schedule. They're not playing the toughest of opponents. I know, some people are floating like, what about Luis Ariz? Well, the Padres are a game over 500. They're kind of firmly in a wild card spot right now. It's really an embarrassing race. Like, one of the wild card teams in the NL are below 500. This is a disgusting race. I mean, I don't even know who's going to be available. They're like Luis Rengifo's an infield name thrown out there. Like, maybe he's somebody, and you kind of, like, as you mentioned, you slide LeMahieu over to first. I feel like if you're going to call up Ben Rice, you have to do it now because it gives him time. It gives the Yankees time to figure out. It gives them basically 6 weeks to go. Is he good or is he not? And if he's good, you can kind of keep him going. I know a lot of people kind of push back against the notion of letting a rookie get some playing time, but, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think the worst thing that happens is that he's not good and you send him down. Like, it is what it is, right? I guess you could say that... I guess you could argue that it kills his trade deadline value, but I don't feel like the Yankees are talking about Ben Rice in the way they talk about players are just looking to trade away. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but the organization's pretty high on him. The other question is, can he really play first base? Like, I don't really know that answer. you've got to do something about first base. You have to. And I know that, people are going to say, well, the postseason, that's all that really matters. And I do agree. But if you want to avoid getting knocked out in a 3-game wildcard series, in a Fugazi series where you're playing a team and, maybe one of your starters gets rocked or your offense doesn't show up for 3 days, you need to win your division. And if you want to win your division, Anthony Rizzo is going to stop you from doing that, right? Like, he's a detriment to your ability to do that. He's a negative WAR player. Like, how bad does Ben Rice have to be worse than Anthony Rizzo? Like, he has to be really freaking bad. And all he's done is hit. So, my thought process is, and look at the upside too, like you talk about the lack of first base options. Imagine if the Yankees call up Ben Rice, and he's good, and he's like a good hitter, not a great one, just a good hitter, right? Like a 110 WRC plus hitter, plays a decent enough first base, and then you just have to go out and get an infielder. And suddenly you're boasting a lineup where you've got a quality first baseman, you go out and you add a corner infielder, you kind of round out the rest of your roster, and you've got this stud, 20, it goes 9 deep in the lineup. It's got, your bullpen stacked with dudes. Your rotation's obviously still stacked with dudes, and you can move some of those guys to the bullpen. Maybe that's Cody Poteet. Maybe that's Clark Schmidt when he comes back. Maybe that's Marcus Stroman. I don't know. Maybe that's Nestor Rodon. I don't know. But I think about the upside of this team. The ceiling of this team is higher if you try Ben Rice, and I think it's a little bit silly to completely dismiss the notion that they can't get better with him up here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, right now, I'm willing to kind of try anything when it comes to trying to figure out how to get more value out of first base. Look, we haven't even reached the All-Star break yet, so, there's a 100% chance the Yankees are running with Rizzo until the very last second before they make any big decision whether to replace him or not. It's totally possible. We record this episode and the guy goes on a really crazy hot streak. We've seen it happen before. We've seen guys turn things around. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. But I'll tell you this right now, Rizzo, the underlying metrics suggest it's not going to happen. The slugging percentages are just so low, dude. I don't know how to justify it. Like, if he was slugging well, like the hard hit rates were there, the barrel percentages were there, the expected BAs were there, the expected slugging was there, I'd say, he's just getting unlucky. Like, if you look at Austin Wells, that dude is getting unlucky when you look at the underlying metrics. Rizzo's underlying metrics are pointing to not just a little regression, but massive regression, 6, 7, 8% regressions in some categories. That is a really big sign that he just hit a wall. Like, he just hit that wall of, his career's on the back end. Now, again, could he turn things around and adjust his approach and become more of a contact-oriented guy and just try to hit some singles, get on base, walk more? Maybe. But at the moment, I don't see him hitting 20 homers this season. I don't see him hitting extra base hits. He's too slow. He is really just going to be a walk and single machine, if anything. And Ryan, to me, that is concerning because Rizzo's not hitting any doubles anytime soon, right? Rizzo's definitely not hitting any triples anytime soon. He's certainly, with the slugging metrics he's showing, is not hitting any home runs anytime soon in terms of consistent home runs. He is either going to be walking or he's going to be hitting singles. You've basically now eliminated the value of an extra base hit, and you've eliminated the probability of a home run. And for a player who is a lefty slugger, or at least on the fringe of slugger, he's hit 32 homers a couple of times in the last couple of years. That is a big problem because he went from being a guy that produces 30-plus homers a season for you to a guy who can't even hit 15. You know what I mean? That is a regression that almost we couldn't even have comprehended going into the season. So, yeah, right now the Yankees have a problem. I don't think maybe he goes on a little bit of a hot streak, but I certainly don't see him turning it around to a degree that we are we need to, I think we feel confident with him again. The Yankees need to be searching and writing up and putting on the whiteboard options to replace him or at least supplement him in a way moving forward, even if that means he plays 50% of the time. Ben Rice gets called up, they just give him some reps, see how he adjusts, see what he does. I'm all for it right now. I'm all for seeing what Ben Rice has got. The guy's been in minors for long enough. He's tearing the cover off the baseball at every minor league level. He's finally in AAA. I mean, the guy can ball, man. He can ball. He can hit. Look, if you compromise a little bit of defensive value at first base for a much better offensive piece, I'm okay with that personally. I imagine most people are, especially because Rizzo's been bad defensively this year for the most part. Aside from yesterday, he's been below average in a lot of ways. So I don't think Ben Rice is going to be that much of a steep drop-off. It will be probably somewhat of a drop-off, but maybe not as steep as one would think. And the offense could be significantly better. Not just a little bit, it could be significantly better if you give him a little bit of time to adjust. So yeah, like I'm open to the idea of giving him some reps, open to the idea of thinking about trade deadline stuff. Again, Yankees aren't going to do it until the last second. They want to give Rizzo as much time as possible to figure things out and try to turn things around. But it is something that is becoming a problem. It is something that we are thinking about, and we will keep you guys covered on all of that news, and ultimately what options there might be on the free agent market as we get closer to the deadline in late July. But as always, my friends, make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. Drop your comments below in the YouTube comment section, and we'll keep you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.
Perfect.